Okay, so these are going to be things that you may have done in Science 10 and or 24 to some extent, though if you did take Science 24, these sorts of calculations are going to be quite new to you. So this is kind of why we make sure that we run kind of tutorial about this as well. So here we go. When doing molar concentration, a lot of times what we're going to be given is we're going to be given a mass, and we need to figure out how many moles there are associated with that mass. So this is why we're doing this particular example. So here we go. How many moles are in 8.06 grams of magnesium oxide? Well, what's the question giving me? Well, the question is giving me a few things, even though it might not seem that way. So it gives me 8.06 grams, that's the mass. Okay, so that's what I need to know there. Now, magnesium oxide. Now, that might not seem like it's really giving you something, but what that's giving you is it's giving you the molar mass. Okay, so it's giving you the molar mass, or big M, and here's how we're going to figure that out. So magnesium oxide, this is an ionic compound, okay? It's got a metal and a non-metal, okay? So that means that I need to balance the charges, which is something that we have already been practicing. So here we go. Here's what we're going to do is we're going to look here. So I included those parts of the periodic table, and magnesium is Mg2 plus, and oxygen is O2 negative. Now, because these are the same, no crisscross, this is just straight up MgO. Okay, so I have the molar mass of magnesium oxide. Well, how do I calculate that? Well, now I need to look at the mass of each of these, and in this case, I have just one, okay, magnesium, which is 24.31 grams per mole, and I have one oxygen, which is 16.00 grams per mole. So the molar mass of magnesium oxide is going to be just the addition of these two. Okay, so that's going to be 0.4. There we go, 40.31 grams per mole. Okay, now we don't need to obviously do mental math for this. If we were doing this on a test, we definitely want to run this through our calculator. All right, so now I'm going to look at my formulas here. Oh, sorry, I skipped up. And right here, okay, the question is asking me for the number of moles, which is represented by the letter N. So I'm looking at that formula there, and it's obvious, or it's quite nicely already arranged for us at N equals M over M. Okay, so, or the number of moles is the mass divided by the molar mass. Well, mass that's given to me in this question here, okay, is 8.06 grams. Molar mass being 40.31 grams per mole. Now, given that information, we know that my answer needs to be less than 1, and that makes sense because 1 mole weighs what the molar mass weighs, which in this case is 40.31 grams. So I obviously have significantly less than 1 mole of magnesium oxide. So I have 8.06, and I'm going to divide that by 40.31, and I get the answer of 1.999503845 moles. Now, that's a lot of significant figures, so we're going to go back up here. The only number that I'm given has 3 significant figures, so that's what I have to report my answer in. Oh, sorry, this is 0.1. My bad. Here is 0.1. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to ignore this first 0, and I'm just going to report it as 0.1. Okay, 3 significant figures we said, so 1, 2, 3. I would round up. Oh, so what this turns actually into is 0.200 grams per mole. Oh, not grams per mole. Jeez, this was a bad question. Here we go. Okay, moles. And that makes sense, right? Because really I don't have very much, there we go, of that, I really, have 1/5, okay, and that equals to about 1/5, so perfect. All right, so thanks for paying attention to this one.